Hello, this is Soundout here, and welcome back to the Soundout12 10,000 subscriber special, Part 3. This will be the top 5 handheld morphers. I kind of consider this anything that's handheld that is not distinctively a cell phone or a wrist-worn device, so it kind of just mixes in other types of things, some that are half weapons, some that are other random objects. This kind of categorizes pretty much everything else from the Morpher line that I know of. As always, my personal opinion, my personal picks. If you think something else should have been on this list in place of it, let me know in the comments below. Without further ado, let's begin. Number 5, the Gosei Morpher from Power Rangers Megaforce. Yes, for all Megaforce was, and for all the weirdness that Gosei was, I still really like its morphers. This has got to be, I'm going to say this is probably Bandai of America's best morpher in the Neo Saban era that they put out. Because I feel like, while I have a tin soder, I don't need a tin soder. Like, if I never had this when Gosei was airing, and I just had this, totally satisfied, totally happy. Great stuff. Both morphers work off the same principle of stick a card in, close it, and makes a sound. The reason why I didn't put batteries in this one for the video was because I can't find my cards. But we have the cards for this one because I kept them safe. Typically on my shelf, I'll put one morpher or the other, but I actually did something clever. I put this one on the shelf with the Megaforce Zords, but this is attached to the Ultra Sword, so I still have both available to me. First up, things I like about the Gosei Morpher more. The pull down, you don't have to pull anything. Here you need a release tab. And I do like that it's smaller because you can kind of hold it this way, which is a more natural way in the show, where I find myself holding this by its giant slidey part in the back. So it's kind of like a similar thing to Legendary Morpher, where it was like, oh, you know, you just shrink it down. So we're going to put the Gosei Morpher aside. Yeah, it's a giant tiki head. Yeah, it's freaking weird, but so is Power Rangers, and if I could stop dropping it, I really dig it. I really do. I don't know why. But maybe it's tactile sensations. Let's find out. So, turning it on, we're going to open it. By the way, the eyes change color on this one, which I like a lot. We're going to put the change card in. You get different sound effects in the Gosei Morpher version, but the same principle is there, where you know, card, sound, cool stuff. You know, attack cards are a thing. Generally speaking, I think that the Gosei cards are a little bit easier to get in and out of the Morpher than the Megaforce ones. So, you know, weapon cards. I think you start to get the idea. The biggest drawback to this Morpher, at least toy-wise, is that you have to have all these cards in order for it to work. And I do like how the Gosei Morpher had sounds for Legendary Ranger cards, as they were introducing the Power Rangers action card game at the time. Here's the combined. So it's really fun, and if you're a card collector, which I was a card collector, I don't do it as much anymore, but I still love cards, it's a neat little companion piece. So, for example, if you were collecting Daiso back in Gosei days, really great stuff. All the cards would work with it in some way. If you're collecting Power Rangers action card game, then the Gosei Morpher would read all that. And honestly, that wide variety of a gimmick there is pretty awesome. Go, go, Megaforce! Ha! Number 4 is the Power Morpher. Now, I'm putting both on here. Normally, like, you know, with the Mystic Morpher, I had to just put Mystic because of, you know, Sentai stuff. But I'm putting these both down because they're basically the same thing. They are the same Morpher. They do the same thing. They do the same stuff. The only difference is that Tommy gets a gold one that he uses for his Green Ranger and White Ranger and White Ninja Ranger powers. Also, as you can see, there's a lot of coins. These, of course, are the legacy versions of the Morphers. These are the best. I have an original silver Power Morpher. I put it in a special place, because I got that way back in a thrift store for 25 cents. Didn't have any of the coins, but I eventually got some reproduction coins from a user on Ranger board, and I also have one of the metallic coins from one of the movie figures, so I have that going on for me. But then the gold one, of course, never was released in America until the Legacy release, first as a Comic-Con exclusive in Chrome, and then later as a normal gold at retail. So pretty cool. Now, of course, they added coins, so, you know, this Power Morpher came with the base 5 of Tyranno, Mastodon, Saber-Tooth Tiger, Triceratops, Pterodactyl. Gold came with Dragonzord and White Ranger for Tigerzord. And then there was a 5-pack of coins, which was the Frog, the Crane, the Wolf, the Bear, and the Ape for the Ninja powers. The Falcon coin was only released with a repainted Legacy Morpher done to look like the movie one. I think it did all 6 of them, or they were planning to. I don't remember exactly. But basically, you would get the Dino coin plus the Ninja coin plus a repainted Morpher that looked kind of like the movie. I never picked up any of those because I thought I don't really want to get all 6. That's a lot. And I didn't really want to buy a whole separate Tommy Morpher just for the Falcon coins. So I'm still out of Falcon coin, but I am glad that they did put out the Ninja coins in the 5-pack right before Toys R Us died, so I was glad to get those. Especially since I believe the ones that came with the movie Morphers were chromed. These have a more, what I like to call the museum look, where they're a bit more weathered. And I do like that. I like the consistency across the board there. They look really nice. One of these days I'm going to try to pick up some Starlight Studios coins, maybe for Lord Draken and the Falcon, just to kind of round it out. But overall, I love the coin gimmick, mostly because, again, it comes back to that, you know, be whatever ranger you want. So, for example, if you're not a big fan of Jason or Rocky at this time, you can be like, hey, you know, I'm a Zach fan or an Adam fan, so I want that. Or if you want to be like a true Adam fan, you just go straight Frog. This is really cool, and I love it that they've used this in so much other media. Like I said, Lord Draken has his own Black Dragon coin. I love that they, you know, added to it over the years. There's just, you know, the whole Master Morpher concept from Super Ninja Steel onward, with Tommy having his own set of coins based on his different powers, is really awesome. And I do like the nature of just being able to swap in whichever Ranger coin you want, because it looks really cool. And then on top of that, of course, you got the gold, which is just the same, but in gold. So let's take the Green Ranger out. The White Ranger coin, I've always liked that design. I also just like the White Ranger more in general, but it's super cool. Now, I'm just going to demonstrate on this one, because they're done the best of the 2 Legacy ones, so we'll turn it on. Let's get that reverse grip, and boom. That's not, I didn't do the reverse grip right. Alright, we'll do it like this. So that's like the morph sound, but then of course you get the music. And then we're just going to cut it off there. But overall, it's a very simple Morpher. It's a very basic Morpher, but it has a lot of legacy. It has a lot of cool customizable options, and so for that, I really like it. Tigerzord. Number 3 is the Patrol Morpher from Power Rangers SPD. This belonged to Anubis Doggy Kruger, the Shadow Ranger. The reason why I picked this over the normal Delta Morpher is just colors. I like the black and gold. I like Doggy. It's pretty awesome. Now, unfortunately, I do have the American toy, which is not the best version of this. I want the Super Sentai Artisan so bad. But it just hasn't happened yet. It's not been in the cards. So that is what it is. Now, of course, this has a very basic function, but I love it. It's the police theme, so you just got a badge, essentially. They show their badge, and then they morph. This symbol here should be different. It's also got a call function. Normally, the call function would be its own separate mode on the Deca Ranger version, but on here, it's just all rolled into one. And then it has the Judgment, which I hate the Power Ranger logos on this part, I really do. But overall, I mean, I love the design, I love the tactile opening kind of thing. And I love the different functionalities, but overall, it's a very basic Morpher, and I think that, you know, as this toy, I just don't like this toy as much. I want me some fancy Japanese SPD goodness, but overall, it's really cool. I like the flip function. I like the badge function. It's It's really fun. It's really light. It's really easy to carry. So overall, I really do like it. I do like it. I just wish there was a better toy of it. But overall, great Morpher design. Poor toy designs, but overall, really cool item. SPD Emergency. Number 2 is the Dino Charge Morpher from Power Rangers Dino Charge, represented here by the Juden Sentai Kyoryuger Gaba Revolver. This is one of the coolest Morphers of all time, in my personal opinion, because it doubles as a weapon, and it just feels awesome. Now, the American version of this was a lot smaller, as the Dino Chargers were smaller. Makes different sounds, of course, for Power Rangers equivalents, as opposed to Sentai versions, but I don't remember where I put my American Morpher at the time, so we're just going to look at this beauty. I love the Gaba Revolver's toy, but I love this Morpher design, and that's what we're really talking about today, because it's so big, but it's just really cool, because you get this kind of like, you know, it's a weapon, it's a pistol, it's a blaster, but it's also the Morpher, and it has a lot of really cool functionality for that. It connects with weapons, so it still has that, you know, added ability to it. And overall, I love the yellow and black. I really do. It just looks really sweet. So, turning it on. Of course, we got blaster sounds. Flipping down the back here. Opening this up always feels satisfying. Of course, we also have the Dino Chargers. The Dino Chargers having the flip function. More tactile sensation. Putting this down. Closing it. And now for the part that America didn't get, the fun music. It's really loud, it's really bright, it's really fun. I love spinning the barrel. I love a lot about it. It's got that really fun play feature, it's got that really fun gimmick. I think the Dino Chargers were a cool gimmick overall, because you kind of got like, you know, it works as like, oh hey, here's a battery of sorts, but the battery itself is kind of like a neat, you know, piece. It's cylindrical, it looks cool, it's got like, you know, names and stuff on it. You get the different pictures, and I love that the American ones had 4 sides to them. That was so awesome. And overall, when it comes to Morphers, in terms of functionality, this one has a lot, as it doubles as the weapon. It just uses all the gimmick stuff. You can have, like, you know, well, in the Japanese one, you can have 2 in at a time. It's just really, really fun, and I think that's what comes down to it. I think this is the most fun I've had with a Morpher, just in general, because it works as Morpher, weapon, sound blaster for, you know, gimmick items. It covers all the bases, and it's all rolled into one nice little package, and I really do love that. Dino Charger, ready. Unleash the power. The number 1 handheld Morpher is the Golden Power Staff. This is such a technicality that I probably shouldn't be able to get away with this, but I love this so much that we're doing it. If Dino Charge can have a weapon for a Morpher, and Ninja Steel can also have a weapon for a Morpher, why not the Gold Ranger? Now, of course, in Shotoki Sentai O Ranger, King Ranger, the counterpart to Gold Ranger, used a modified version of the Power Brace. This is the normal version. It had like a special king crest across the top, different colors, more gold. He used that to morph, but for whatever reason, despite releasing it in the toy line over here, Jason never used that. Neither did Trey. No one used the gold Zeonizer like we thought they would. So because of that, it actually led to trying to figure this out. Where do the powers come from? Golden Power Staff. This is how Trey passed the powers to Jason. It is something that appears behind Jason as he morphs. In fact, the morphing sequence starts with seeing a shot of that opening. So, honestly, yeah, it's a giant weapon. It really is. That's pretty much what it's become. But guess what? It's the Morpher. And I love it. I've done a full review on the Legacy Golden Power Staff. But what I love about it is the fact that, you know, it's something that the Gold Ranger can summon into battle. He can summon to morph. Or actually, he doesn't even need to summon it to morph, as he just does a morphing pose with the gold, which I, again, don't know why they didn't use the gold Zeonizer. He just flips his arms up, does the gold pose, and this thing's just behind him, kind of floating about, ready for him to use it. And he can use it at any time, and it's a great weapon. Like, it's just, It feels powerful. It's got, energy blast ability. It's got this wonderful sliding function that slides down here, so you get kind of a balanced weapon to fight battles with. And honestly, I really love it. I know that some people don't consider this the Morpher, but, in the same vein that the Magnum Defender sword was the source of the power, but yet, you had an additional device to morph into the Magnum Defender, here is not so much the case. This is definitely the source of the power, and it appears as part of the morphing sequence. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a Morpher. But if you don't like this choice, definitely let me know in the comments below. But that right there is my #1 pick for the handheld Morpher devices. Gold Ranger power. So I hope you enjoyed this video on the top 5 handheld Morphers. This was kind of an interesting list, a lot of bit weirder picks just because of the nature of the topic. If you think a different Morpher should have been on this list, let me know in the comments below. Also hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button to join all 10,000 of you out there who have been supporting me for 10 years, and I appreciate everyone that's ever watched one of my videos. So thank you everyone for that. Also check out Hero Club at hero-club.com for Power Rangers news and more, and our title card artist Ryan Darkclaw643 on Twitter at Darkclaw643 for art commissions and other types of content. And follow me on social media using the links provided at the end of the video. Until next time, this is Soundout saying goodbye.